organizers for inviting me for this. I have been reading about all these the programs that have been conducted here. Very interesting. I'm very proud and grateful to be part of this. Not only in the university but out of the university, and I think what is needed today is for all of us to be involved in important issues that concern us and law protection in Telangana state. When the agitation was there for Telangana state, one of the points that was made, and which is made whether it is in Scotland or in Spain or wherever, is that a smaller state can reach the grassroots much better. A smaller state can give access to the most deprived, which a large state cannot. So now that we have this state, we have to show that we can do this. One of the most important, rights of a child or an adult or anyone, after security, after food, health, is education, is one of the basic rights. And as Venkatreddy Garu has said, he has really put in a nutshell the whole issue about education. And we have finally, given the right to education to our people. There are a lot of committees at the national level, state level, at all levels. I'm part of a number of them. The figures that are given, that 100% coverage, etc. So we know that this is not true. So leaving that aside, let us see, what needs to be done. I think the different parts of the world that have done well, where schooling is compulsory and where every child goes to school. I asked this question to somebody in the UK. I said, how do you enforce this? So she looked a little surprised and she said, well, if I see a child on the road during school hours, I will report. Or if I see a neighbor's child during school hours at home consistently, I will report. So that means if you see during school hours a child is not in school, it means the child is not in the right place. So I think we need to reach a stage where it should bother us that during school hours, why is the child working here or in a home or in a, in the bazaar or loitering on the streets or anything. Unless we do that, I don't think we are going to achieve things, because passing a law doesn't really, it helps, but it really doesn't get you reach your goal very quickly. And especially since we know the state has been literally dragged into passing this, because the whole world is watching. This is part of the Millennium Development Goal. And we are really not reaching there. We still have officially the largest number of illiterates. And there is no excuse. There is no excuse after 60 years. Because today, if we decide every child has to be in school, then, like the point that was made in the, Mr. Venkatreddy by him, that in 10 years, every child will be officially out of school. That is, having achieved something. So it's not going to take 60 years. It needs to take only 10 years. And then where are the gaps? Unfortunately the gaps are, again, like has been mentioned, social acceptance, but social acceptance not by the deprived. They are accepting it. I know maidservants in homes where they are earning 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 who want to send their children to private school and give tuition because the child can't keep pace, and also because the government school is not good enough. So they have those aspirations and we are failing them. And we have to carry our governments, our bureaucracies, we have to push them into it. And something like the group that is here today, a citizens group, we need to have these citizens groups and a very strong movement. So this acceptance has to be by the elite. The elite who think it is good for our children to go to the best schools. But really we don't think that the poor need to go. We really don't think that. So long as our work gets done, we are very happy about it. So I don't want to take all my 15 minutes, we can leave the rest for a discussion. And I want to just give one example because as a minority I'm expected to say something about minorities, especially Muslims. And I'm in a happy state where I'm a trustee and a member of an aided school, a government aided school, which is 75 years old. This was started by my great aunt for poor girls. It has about 1,000 girls today. And my uncle, who was in the Indian Army, retired, he's 90 plus now, has been going every day to that school for 40 odd years. And the school has the best results, the poorest of the poor, because even Muslim families will send the son to a private school and a daughter to a government school. So a government or a government aided school, we get the poorest of the poor. There is so much acceptance, no mother or father says, why is my child, why should the child go up to the 10th class? There is hardly any dropout. There is no parda or anything, because my great aunt who founded it was against, putting girls, at home in the guise of parda. So they come to school, they come in their uniform, there is regular attendance. And yesterday there was a function in which my uncle went after a long time in a wheelchair, because that's his life. 3 girls who had been awarded for top Urdu medium, this is an Urdu medium school, for getting the highest marks in the state in Urdu medium schools, 95% and 93% and 93%. And everywhere these girls go, they have so much confidence. When the Hyderabad Metro organized an essay writing competition, I think it was last year or so, in all the regional mediums, the theme being Metro Safe Metro, Hyderabad Metro Safe Metro or something. And this was organized in some public hall. Out of the 5 top Urdu, and there was no age bar there, the top, 5 top Urdu, these things was, 3 were awarded to this school, to girls from the school. So, I think we cannot take shelter and say that girls will drop out from school, or Muslim girls will drop out from school, or tribal girls will drop out from school, or any such thing. But the resistance I find, unfortunately, is from the state that has built its own rules in such a way It is entangled in its own rules, and it cannot support education. And I'm again citing an instance from the school. Being a government-aided school, it had a certain percentage of government teachers. Now there are only 2. They've all retired. And when I raised these issues in meetings where there was, very senior, I don't want to say what level, but very senior bureaucrats, there's no response why, these schools are excluded and deprived of teachers. Of course, the private sector can pay, but you can't pay. Still, in spite of that, we are doing this. And I regret to say that in one meeting, Secretary Education said, oh, I know about private schools, somebody starts them and we are expected. So I said, you are talking in terms of providing building, providing latrines, providing security with a wall. All those things are here. The running water, the electricity, all you have to do is to provide the teachers. But there is some law in which aided schools are not being provided teachers. And I think every school, every government school should have citizens who are concerned, like all of us here, should be involved with the running of every government school, so that we can do hand-holding, we can, get things done for them and push them forward, try to raise resources. And once this thing gets going, I think there is no stopping. Because today, we just have to, the Urdu media carried a report of a girl who had talked in Urdu. This is almost 6 or 8 years ago. And she was looking for resources to continue her education. Today, they don't need to do that. But at that time, a poor driver in Dubai or something read this and said, well, this is my 6,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees for this child to continue her education. So any success inspires others. So now there are one English teacher that's being supported by some group of young women who have sponsored this so that these girls do good, English. And again, although it is Urdu medium, it has to be because they are first generation learners and they will all drop out if it was English medium or Telugu medium or anything. These girls are able to go into inter-level in English medium, not just Urdu medium. And 2 years ago, 4 girls managed to get into medicine without any donations. So I'm just saying this to show that it can be done. If in the most difficult circumstances, with the poorest girls, where the parents are supposed to give the biggest resistance, you need to have a happy environment, you need to have committed teachers, you need to make it, a fun-filled experience, and you need to have various other, inputs that the best schools have. And the poorest will stand on their feet in no time. So I think I've taken perhaps more than 15 minutes, I'll stop here. I just want to say that it has to become a movement of citizens like those of us who are here, and every government school should have a lot of godparents, godfathers, godmothers, caring for these and caring for the poor. Because whether the state, we have to prod the state, but whether the state does or not, we also have a duty for that. Thank you.